Ever wish there was like a cheat code to learning English faster?
Ready, because this deep dive is all about ditching those dusty old textbooks and embracing something you already have. That's right, your playful side.
We're talking research-backed strategies and practical tips to help you unlock your inner English learning superhero.
I love that, because who wants to be bored while learning,
Yeah.
right? Think about, remember a time you were totally hooked on something new?
Maybe a new video game or binge watching a show. What was it about those experiences that just clicked?
That's such a great point, and it's not just anecdotal. Cambridge English found that having a positive attitude towards English is actually one of the biggest predictors of success.
So you're saying my love for bad reality TV could actually help me learn English faster? Okay, I'm listening.
It's true. When you enjoy something, your brain's more engaged, you're more likely to stick with it. And that's what we're all about, making those connections that lead to real progress.
So ditching the dread and embracing the fun, that's the secret sauce.
Absolutely. And speaking of fun, one of the sources we're looking at today talks about the power of wait for it games.
Did someone say games? Okay, I'm all in. But before we go full on game night, tell me more about how this helps, for those of us who might be past the age of juice boxes and play dates.
It's all about active learning, regardless of your age. Think about it. When you're caught up in a game, you're not even realizing how much you're absorbing.
True. I can quote you every line from my favorite movie, but good luck getting me to remember what I had for breakfast.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So using games for language learning is tapping into that natural engagement.
Okay, so what kind of games are we talking about here?
Well, even classics like Hangman or Categories are fantastic for vocabulary. The trick is to tailor them to your interests. Love cooking. Make it all about food. Studying for a business presentation. Incorporate those terms.
Okay, that makes sense, making it relevant to your life. But what about actually speaking? Any games for that?
Absolutely. Charades, Pictionary, those are great for building confidence in speaking and understanding those nonverbal cues that are so crucial in communication. And for anyone teaching or learning with younger learners, active games like Alphabet Relay are fantastic. It combines movement with letter recognition, which is a win-win for keeping kids engaged.
I bet those would even get the adults moving and grooving. But let's be real, we can't forget about the elephant in the room technology. There's got to be some app or something that can help, right?
Oh, absolutely. There are so many amazing apps and online platforms now with interactive games specifically designed for language learning.
That's so cool. Learning disguised as entertainment, I love it.
It's a game changer for sure. You can learn at your own pace, track your progress, and some even let you compete with friends, which always adds an extra layer of fun.
Okay, this is already feeling way more exciting than my old textbooks. So, games are in, check. But I'm guessing there's more to it than just that.
You're right, games are just one piece of the puzzle. The real magic happens when you start to see your everyday life as a language learning playground.
Ooh, now you're speaking my language. I'm always down for a good time. What do you have in mind?
Well, what are some things you already love to do?
Let's see. I'm a sucker for a good sitcom or movie marathon, and music is my constant companion.
Perfect. Those are both gold mines for language learning.
Wait, seriously, so my Netflix habit is actually productive. Mind blown.
I know, right? If you love sitcoms, stick with those, especially ones with simpler language to start. As you improve, you can always level up to more complex shows. Maybe try those British comedies you've been curious about.
Ooh, yes, British humor challenge accepted. But what about those times when I need subtitles just to keep up?
Don't be afraid to use them, especially in the beginning. Think of them like training wheels. And there are even those cool language learning extensions that let you hover over a word to get the definition instantly.
Game changer. Okay, what about music? How can I use that to my advantage?
Music is incredible for pronunciation and picking up those everyday expressions you won't find in a textbook. Pay attention to the lyrics. Sing along. It's all about immersing yourself in the sounds and rhythms of the language.
So karaoke night just became my new English class. I'm into it. But what about those of us who like to, actually read things? Books, articles, the classic.
Reading is so valuable, whether it's news, blogs, even comics. The key is to choose material that aligns with your current level and gradually work your way up. It's like leveling up in a video game, right? You wouldn't start with the final boss battle.
That's a good point. I definitely wouldn't last very long. So starting slow and steady is the key.
Exactly. Reading helps you grasp those nuances of the language, expand your vocabulary, all while enjoying a good story or learning something new. Speaking of video games,
Oh, yeah. Those can be pretty immersive.
they're like a full-blown interactive experience. Video games require you to process information quickly, make decisions, and often communicate with other players in real time.
Plus, they're just plain fun, and we've already established that fun equals learning
You
success.
got it. And we'd be remiss not to mention social media. It's not just for scrolling and liking anymore. It can be a fantastic language learning tool.
Okay, now I'm really intrigued. Spill the tea. How can I turn my social media obsession into an educational experience?
Think about it. You can follow English-speaking creators or influencers whose content you genuinely enjoy, join groups related to your hobbies. It's all about surrounding yourself with the language in a natural, engaging way.
So, basically, I can scroll my way to fluency. Sign me up. But all this talk about immersing myself in English has me wondering about something. What about finding someone to actually practice with, like a language exchange partner, someone to go on all these English adventures with? A language exchange partner, it sounds kind of like having a workout buddy, but for your English, someone to keep you motivated and on track.
That's a great way to put it. It's about having that support system and that shared journey of learning and growth.
Okay, sold. But how do I even find these language exchange partners? Am I supposed to like post flyers at the local library or something?
Well, you could try that, but luckily there are much easier ways to connect these days.
Thank goodness for that.
There are tons of apps and online platforms specifically designed for finding language exchange partners.
So no more awkwardly searching for someone who happens to be learning IY language in exchange for help with theirs.
Exactly. These platforms make it so much easier. You create a profile, talk about your interests, your goals, and boom, you're connected with people who share your passion for languages.
Okay, so no more awkward language barter system check. But what if I'm not quite ready to jump into a full-blown conversation?
No worries. Many of these platforms let you choose how you want to connect texting, voice calls, even video chat if you're feeling brave.
So whether I'm feeling shy or super social, there's an option for me. I like it. But I've got to ask about those classic conversation exchanges, where you split the time speaking one language and then the other. Those always seemed kind of cool, but a bit intimidating.
Ah, yes, tandem language learning. It's a classic for a reason. It's a fantastic way to make sure both partners are getting equal practice and support.
Makes sense. So it's a win-win for everyone involved.
Exactly. Plus, you're not just learning the language itself, you're gaining insights into another culture, another perspective.
Oh, I love that. It's like a cultural exchange program built right in. So we've got apps, online platforms, tandem learning.
Yeah.
Are there any other ways to connect with language learners in the wild?
Don't underestimate the power of real-life interactions. Check out local meetups or events in your city. Many places have language exchange groups or even just social gatherings where people are excited to practice their skills and meet new people.
I love that. It's like a 2-for-1 deal. Improve your English A&D, expand your social circle. Sign me up. But all this talk about language partners and practice has me thinking. We've covered a ton of great strategies for making English learning fun and engaging, but how do we keep that motivation going over time? Avoid those moments where we just want to throw in the towel and go back to binge watching our favorite shows.
That is the million-dollar question, isn't it? And it's something that applies to learning anything new, not just languages. It's all about setting yourself up for success from the start.
Yeah, it's like, how do we build that foundation that keeps us going when things get tough?
It's all about mindset and strategy, really.
Yeah.
And it starts with understanding your why.
My why. Like, why am I even learning English in the first place?
Exactly. Is it to travel the world, advance in your career, connect with people from different cultures?
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Having a clear purpose, like a North Star guiding my journey. But let's be real, life gets busy. How do I actually make time for it all?
That's where setting smaller, more achievable goals comes in. Think bite-sized steps that you can actually fit into your day-to-day life.
Okay, so instead of become fluent in English, it's more like learn 5 new words this week.
Exactly. Or have a short conversation with my language partner, or watch one episode of my favorite show without subtitles.
I love that. Small victories to keep the momentum going.
And here's a little secret. Celebrate those wins, no matter how small. Did you nail that tricky grammar rule? High five. Treat yourself. It reinforces those positive feelings and keeps you coming back for more.
It's like leveling up in a game. You get that little reward, that dopamine hit that keeps you motivated.
Exactly. And just like with anything you're trying to make a habit, consistency is key. Even if it's just for a few minutes each day, those micro-learning moments really add up.
Okay, so I'm setting SMART goals, I'm celebrating my wins, and I'm being consistent. What else? This is already way more encouraging than my usual New Year, New Me resolutions.
Variety. Don't be afraid to mix things up.
Yep.
One day you might be feeling a language exchange, the next day it's curling up with a good book. The important thing is to listen to your own rhythm and find what works best for you.
Okay, that's actually really freeing. It's not about forcing myself into one specific method. It's about finding what I genuinely enjoy.
Exactly. And remember, you don't have to do this alone. Find a study buddy, join a language learning group, connect with other learners online. Having that support system can make a world of difference.
Yeah, it's like having a built-in cheering squad. Knowing you're not alone in those moments of doubt or frustration can be so powerful.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And speaking of those moments, remember that challenges are a natural part of the process. It's all about how we choose to view them.
Okay, so instead of getting discouraged, I should see them as opportunities to learn and grow.
Exactly. Every mistake is a chance to refine your understanding, to get one step closer to your goals. Remember, progress over perfection.
I love that. It takes the pressure off.
It does. And remember that concept we talked about earlier, marginal gains? It's incredibly relevant here.
Yeah, those small, consistent efforts that add up over time.
Exactly. It's not about making drastic changes overnight. It's about those small daily deposits into your English bank, if you will.
Okay, I love that analogy. So instead of trying to cram everything in at once, it's more like those fitness challenges where you start with a few minutes a day and gradually work your way up.
You got it.
Yeah.
It's about building that momentum, that consistency. And just like you might track your steps or your calories,
Yeah.
it can be helpful to track your progress in language learning too. Seeing how far you've come can be incredibly motivating.
It's like those progress bars, so satisfying to watch them fill up.
Exactly. And as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with this: be kind to yourself throughout this journey.
Yeah, it's easy to get caught up in the shoulds and the have-tos, but learning should be enjoyable, right?
Absolutely. So celebrate those wins, embrace the challenges, and most importantly, have fun.
This has been so insightful. I feel like I have a whole new perspective on language learning. Any final words of wisdom for our listeners before we sign off?
Remember, the most important step is the one you take today. What's one small action you can take right now to get started or to keep that momentum going? Even if it's just 5 minutes, it all makes a difference in the long run.
5 minutes. That's it. No excuses. We believe in you. Until next time, happy learning, everyone.